There was a study done where researchers asked over thousands of kids one simple question. That was, how much time does your dad actually spend with you? And the answer completely wrecked me. Let's take two dads as an example, right? You get a guy who makes over six figures, and you got a guy who makes a fraction of that. Now, we are taught in society that the dad who makes six figures is rich, successful, his kids are happy. You know, you get the picture of the picture perfect family, the good looking dad and the good looking mom and the boy and the girl, and life's perfect, life's happy. And then you think of the other version, the other family, the dad who, again, makes a fraction of that. He's struggling. He can't make ends meet. He's tired. He's just, yeah, he's struggling. Kids must not be happy. They can't do things they want. He can't provide gifts that they want. He has a wife who isn't happy because just the status quo says a guy who doesn't make that much can't be that successful, can't be worth much. Now, let's break down those two dads. Yes, one may be successful on paper and one may be a failure. But what's the cost, right? The guy who's successful, the guy who's making six figures, is probably missing games. He's probably missing dinners at home with his family. He's probably sacrificing a lot. Where the guy who maybe isn't making as much, who seems like a failure, he's actually showing up to all his kids' games. He's tucking them into bed. He's there talking to his kids and his wife about whatever at the dinner table. So on one hand, we're taught the amount that you make measures your success financially. And on the other hand, how much does that actually matter to your kids and to your wife? See, here's the thing. We can measure money. You know, if you work X amount of hours or you put in the overtime, you get home or you get an invoice or pay stub of how much you worked and how much that was made. But when it comes to raising your kids and the dinners you spend and the games you show up, you can't actually get a physical paper or an invoice on the screen showing how much you did or how good you did that week. And so that's what can make it hard for a dad to kind of navigate. And that's why it's so much easier to get in this mindset that if you make six figures, then you're doing good and that you're being a good father. But let's just twist it on its head for a sec, and because let's look at some of the stats. You see, there's been another research done that the amount of time that a dad spends with their kids doesn't actually matter as much as the quality. I've talked about this so much before, but you can be in the same room with your kids and not be there emotionally or mentally. And your kids notice, right? I told a story one time about how I was on my phone. I was scrolling and I was present in the room, but when my kids called me out, I wasn't actually there. And they notice. They notice every time I'm playing a game with my kids and then I stop to check a text or I stop to check my phone. They see that. To them, you're just saying whoever or whatever's on the other side of that screen is more important than your kids. So it's the quality, not the quantity. Now, don't get me wrong. More time with your kids is never a bad thing. But you need to make sure that you are making it count. Not that you're just there checking off, but off somewhere else. Now, here's the other thing. A dad who is involved with their kids' lives is impactful in so many other ways, right? If you have a son, research shows that if a son has a dad who is involved in his life consistently and intentionally, he is less likely to go to jail. He's more likely to do better in school, to get better grades. He's more likely to have a better job. Overall, he's more likely to be more successful in life. Same with the daughter, right? There's a reason why people say, oh, she has daddy issues. And then, she might be just not respecting herself as much as a father would. Right? If a daughter grows up and a father is in her life consistently, and not just, again, the amount of time he's in her life, but if he's in her life and showing her that he loves her, showing her her worth, showing her respect, not only just her, but let's flip it to And if kids see their dads showing their mom respect, showing what a good, healthy relationship looks like, daughters see that and they want that. That's the standard. So if you're constantly arguing with your wife or not showing her love or respect, your daughter's not going to go out pursuing the opposite. There's good chances she's going to just pursue that. So you need to be careful with that. So let's clear the air for a second, though, okay? I know I am making this comparison between the guy who makes $100,000 to the guy who doesn't. I am not trying to crap on people who do not make that much money. The truth is, money is important. We need money to live, okay? For me to say, don't worry about money and just focus on your kids is kind of a stupid statement to make, because financial stress is a huge thing that wrecks families. It wrecks dads. Dads are stressed. Dads who are stressed can't parent the best. So I am in no way saying money doesn't matter. What I am saying is we need to, as men, find the difference between providing and chasing. You see, providing, you are making enough to have a good life for your kids. You are making sure they have food on the table. You are making sure they have clothes that are good, or that they can have opportunities to do stuff. But then when you're chasing something that is what? Trying to validate you? Are you trying to chase a bigger paycheck for your kids to have more opportunities? That could be a good thing, but also could be a dangerous thing. You know, if you're constantly chasing an extra pay raise and your kids are happy, if they see less time with you, what's that matter what net worth you chase or get to a higher point? Or are you chasing not only just for your kids, but for other people, right? How many times do we find ourselves in this rat race where we're trying to impress people we barely even know, or impress our neighbors who, guess what? You know, the guy who next door who got that brand new truck, or the people down the road who have a brand new pool, or the kid in your class whose parents are living the life. Yeah, guess what? Probably they're in crippling amount of debt and they can't afford it. So why are you trying to chase something that isn't even real, right? If you're making $50,000, let's say, yes, maybe there's other people, maybe there's other dads in your kid's school, or other people you know who are making a lot more. I understand the drive and the desire to make that much more. I'm there. But you have to be content, right? I know it's a struggle, but hey, guess what? There are millions of people in this world who would kill to be in your position, to have what you have, even if for you it doesn't seem like enough. Okay? And if you're someone who's maybe killing it in the financial field, in the career field, you're making $100K a year or more, that's great, honestly. But again, that's not what all matters. Yes, money matters. It's important. We need to live. Regardless of who you are, where you are at in life, the important questions we need to ask ourselves is, who are you as a dad to your kids? How do they view you? Because if you're making $100K a year, but you're not investing in your kids and they barely know you, you barely know them, that's a problem. Okay? If you're also a parent who's completely stressed and can't focus on your kids, that's also a problem. So whatever your situation is, I know it's unique. I know it may be a struggle. I know you may be wishing your life was different. Okay? But just remember, someone wishes they were in your shoes. Your kids, all they want from us as dads is to be loved and to be seen. And to be, no, that's it. Loved and seen. Taken care of and provided for, and just get to know them. Okay, if you have a kid, you know how precious time is. I remember holding my son 6 years ago, and it feels like yesterday. And he is now 6, and where did the time go? You can't get that time back. You can't be like, dang, I really wish I would have done this more with him at this point of his time. So let's just go back in time. No, that's gone. The opportunities you have to make a difference in your kids is now. And if you've been a crappy father, that's okay. Nothing is too late. It may take more time. It may take more trust to be earned, but you can still do it. You can still build that relationship up with your kids. So I'm going to end that off there. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you can pull something out of this and it can help you. Don't forget to earn it every day.